All right, it's 12 o'clock noon on Thursday, May 25th, and I'll call this special meeting of the Fergus Falls City Council to order. Roll call, please.
Thompson.
Here.
Speedo.
Here.
Hicks.
Yeah.
Effort.
Here.
Fish.
Here.
Schultz is gone. Rupert.
Here.
And Fergus is on.
We have a quorum. So we have 3 items of business to take care of this afternoon. I'm going to turn it over to Andrew Bremseth to give us a little background on why we're here.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. First of all, thank you guys for calling the special meeting and hosting this today so we could get a start on the library project. We were at a point over the weekend and in the beginning of the week where we felt really good about the tax bill. There was an agreement made between the legislature and the governor that they have a tax bill figured out or they had agreement on a tax bill. Now it was just a matter of getting that passed. The tax bill went through the House yesterday, went through the Senate and had an amendment. So now today at noon, so right now as we start, the House will be taking up the tax bill to concur with that amendment. The amendment was just relating to the bar closures during the Super Bowl, so nothing real controversial. The House should concur with that amendment today, and then that will go to the governor. The governor's already indicated that he's agreed to the package. He does have 14 days to veto the package now that we are in a special session. That's different than the usual 3-day veto window during the regular session. So there are some different rules that we're playing with now that we're in special session, but based on our comfort level with the agreement in place, we are ready to move forward, and we thought it would be a good idea, and we appreciate the mayor allowing us to do this, to get a head start on the bid process for the library project, because it'll save us about 11 days if we can do it today as opposed to waiting for our next council meeting, which may come into play as we near the end of the building season this fall. So every day at this point is an important one. So we'll continue to watch the legislature, and obviously all the actions today are contingent on that final signing of the bill, but it's something that we're not real worried about at this point. It's just a formality to get that through the House and then have the governor sign it in due time. So we'll obviously keep an eye on that and be closely involved and let everybody know when that happens, but for now, I think it's important to continue to move forward now that we do have that comfort level. You know, you could ask, why didn't we do this 2 months ago? And the answer was we just never had a real comfort level that the legislature could actually get this done. So we've learned in years past not to put all of our eggs in that basket, but we are at a point now where we do feel comfortable, and I think it's time to continue to forward this thing down the road. So that being said, I think Brian is going to touch on the first item regarding the bids.
Thank you, Andrew. Good afternoon. The memo before you is in regards to the Fergus Falls Public Library project. Pence, Thompson, Rightel, BT&R has substantially completed the project plans and specifications. CPMI, BT&R subconsultant, has prepared the cost estimates for the base bid and a series of bid alternates. The alternates will be considered adds or deductions to the base bid. These alternates will give us the flexibility to somewhat determine which additional adds or deducts we want in conjunction with our budget prices to still remain within the budget. CPMI estimates the building and site for this renewal project is approximately $7.2 million. This estimated construction cost is consistent with what has been presented through schematic design and presentations prior to before this council. Because of this monetary amount, we must publicly advertise for a minimum of 21 days. We're proposing to begin advertisement on June 5th and tentatively schedule the bid opening for July 6th, where sealed bids will be read and read aloud in chambers here. If we receive favorable prices, we plan on presenting award to the City Council on July 17th, 2017 for final approval prior to proceeding with construction. With the schedule mentioned here, we anticipate we could start construction early August with this project. It's anticipated right now for 18-month duration till it will be opened up for the public. At this time, I'm requesting accept the project plans and specifications and authorization to begin the advertisement.
Thank you, Brian. Are there any questions for Brian?
I will offer that.
Thank you, Jim.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
Any further discussion? Not roll call, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Speedo.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Pepper.
Yes.
Fish.
Yes.
Hoover.
Yes.
Brennan.
Yes.
Resolution is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Next item on the agenda is a resolution authorizing the mayor and city administrator to sign a temporary space lease agreement for the Heritage Building. Aaron, are you going to speak to this? Our Library Director, Aaron Smith. Thank you, Aaron, for being here today.
Thank you, Mayor and council members, for the session this afternoon. Just wanted to point one thing out, if I could quickly. On your desks, I had left a flyer advertising some of our youth events this summer. Put that on there for your information, but also just wanted to extend a thank you to the community and city staff. As the library has been preparing for this potential transition, we've made some changes to our lineup for summer reading this year, and we're excited about the changes. It has meant that some of our traditional summer programs are not in the mix, but it's given us the opportunity to do some fun things, take the library on the move this summer with a book bike that will go to some of our events in the community, and we'll be able to check out books and other materials from that bike in the parks, which will be fun to try. We also will be doing story walks in the park and bringing some of our special events to other community partners as well. So just wanted to extend our thanks to both those who are attending those events and those who are helping us host those this summer during the transition. So our theme is FFPL on the move, since we'll be moving around the community this summer. We are looking for a resolution to request authorization to enter into a lease agreement with Heritage Properties LLC as the temporary location for the public library during the construction phase of the project. We will be looking at a 12,000 square foot space in the Heritage Building, which is located at 1505 Pebble Lake Road. And as has been mentioned, we would not sign or enter into that lease agreement until, we receive the legislative authorization to move forward with that. With the 12,000 square feet, we'll be a little bit cramped in the space as far as collections and programming in particular is concerned, but we will be able to bring the bulk of our collection, books and other materials, which will be great to have those accessible during the construction phase of the project. And we'll continue to work with our community partners on some of the classes and events that the library hosts and providing space for that. We'll also have computers available at that location. And just again, extending a thank you as we work through the process with the community. We plan to make it as fun and engaging as we can, and of course, it'll just make it that much sweeter when we're able to open the 21st Century Library and have that additional space for the technology and the programming in the community.
Thanks, Aaron. And just for the public, the Heritage Building is the old, building, the old Piggly Wiggly, where ECF is.
Yes, where UCF is, yes.
210
What-
and Pebble Lake Road.
Yes.
Any questions for Aaron on the temporary location for him?
Could I ask, it seems obviously kind of like a lot of money. It's $9,500 a month. What were the other bids?
Sure. We did tour, so we toured 4 potential spaces for the temporary, and it was comparable. So we had a price, a square foot price on one of the other locations, and that was $10 per square foot, but the square footage options were smaller. And we also would need to store more materials with a smaller footprint in those spaces. So the estimates were comparable, and we were really focused on what we needed in the space in order to operate for 18 months. So we wanted to choose a temporary location that would be best for the community and would fit in the budget.
And then I got a follow-up question as well. Then what other costs are associated with, because obviously there's a budget of $250
Sure.
and this is going to take up $170,000 of
Yep.
it. So it's like $145 left. What are the other costs
Right.
that are associated with the move? Because I'm assuming it's moving there, obviously moving back to the new space.
Yes, yep. And so other costs that would be factored into that would be fit up, but with this lease price, the fit up's included in that. So that is part of this monthly price. So that's already part of that $170,000 that we're estimating right now as a total cost for renting the space. As far as move is concerned, we are planning on hopefully hiring a moving company to move us there. Estimates have put that at about $30,000. And in my discussions with, and we received those when we were putting the budget together, in my discussions with some of the other libraries, when we move back into the library, it'll be less labor intensive because we will have the furnishing all set up. Moving out, we need to dismantle everything, set everything up. So there's a possibility we may be able to handle much of that move back on our own.
Thank you.
Yep.
If I've got it right, we've got 12,000 square feet that's usable.
Yep, approximately for the temporary space.
And we're
Yep.
spending about $9,000 a month. That includes the rent and the property taxes we're paying.
Correct. Yes.
95.
That's factored into it as well.
So we're looking at, what, around, is it 80 cents a square foot?
I didn't do the calculation out per square foot, so.
Don't worry, Bill somewhere's on his calculator.
Well, what's the total amount?
75 cents.
Okay, you got it? Sounds good.
Thanks.
Yep, you're welcome.
Darren?
And we'll probably hold off on signing until we're sure of that.
Yeah, Your Honor, members, that's the intent, is this is contingent on that governor signing off on the final bill. The property owner is aware of the timeline and is willing to work with us on that. So this is just having that in the queue, ready to go as soon as we get that signature from the governor.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions for that? If not, would somebody like to offer a resolution
I'll offer that, Your Honor.
authorizing the temporary lease agreement for the Heritage Building? Tom, thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Rod, thank you.
Sure.
Second. Further discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Speedall.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Packard.
Yes.
Fish.
Yes.
Hoover.
Yes.
Ernst.
Yes.
The resolution is approved. The last item on our agenda is a resolution authorizing and issuing an RFP for moving services for the temporary library relocation. Aaron?
Yes,
You
thank you.
touched on this. Anything else you wanted to add on that RFP process?
Just that, making the decision on the temporary space, of course, helps give the information to the moving companies. And there was a fit-up plan included with the memo for the temporary space. That plan would be provided for the moving companies and kind of do a match-to-match of what we currently have as a layout in the current building with the temporary space so that they can make that transition. So this is kind of contingent on making that decision, but being able to put this request for proposals out there now will help us get on the schedule for moving companies. So thank you for considering it.
And there are specific companies that specialize in moving libraries, correct?
There are those who have the experience doing it, and it is, yeah. The staff has been doing a great job getting the library prepared for the moving companies so they can make that a little easier too.
Any questions for Aaron on that?
Just out of curiosity, based on your conversations with other libraries, do you have any idea how long the library would be out of commission during the moving process?
Sure. Had estimates of up to 2 weeks, but it really depends. Some of that work I just mentioned, getting the collections moved around so that it's easy just to take a shelf and box it and move it, should cut down on that move time. So we'll know more when we get the proposals back, what we're looking at as a more definitive estimate. So.
Any other questions of Aaron? If not, is there a resolution to?
I'll make the resolution.
I mean, for the RFP, I'm sorry, for the,
I'll make it.
Justin?
I'll second.
Thank you, Justin. Second. Any other discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Speedall.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Yes.
Fish.
Yes.
Hoover.
Yes.
Ernst.
Yes.
Resolution is approved. Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
I think we need to send a memo to the Minnesota State Legislature, just that when the Fergus Falls City Council calls a special session, we get our work done.
We're on it.
I would like to make one comment. As frustrating as the session has been, there's been a lot of good things that have happened and a lot of hard work. And I think we need to recognize not only the people that have gone down to the Capitol on behalf of the city of Fergus Falls with Fergus Falls Day, people that have written all the letters, but also our local legislators, Bud Nornis and Bill Ingebrigtsen have been very helpful. They've authored all the legislation that we've asked them to author. They've done a good job of following up on that, and they've worked through the process really well. I feel like we've had a direct seat at the table in St. Paul for the whole session, and I don't think every community in the state can say that they have. So I really appreciate that. I appreciate everybody that's taken time to go down, write letters, call their legislators to get this work done. There's still a few more days we're going to be beating our heads against the wall, but at the end of the day, we're going to prevail, and there's a lot of good things that will come out of this session. So I'm proud of that. The LGA increase is in the tax bill, so that'll be another bright spot for the community.
How much is it, 20 million?
I think there's a $15 million permanent increase that's figured in, so that'll be, it'll be between $30,000 and $40,000 additionally that the city of Fergus Falls will see over the coming years. So that's a pretty good impact. And then we're still working on getting that bonding bill wrapped up, but the whole session we've had good luck with keeping in the bill as different versions have been worked through, and I'm really confident that we've made headway with the legislature this year, and that'll carry over into next year, so.
I would just add on to that, just to Darren and Rod and to Andrew, the legislative committee, thank you guys for the work you've done. We have, I think Andrew's right, we've gotten our message down to St. Paul. We've gotten what we've asked for, knock on wood. And there's a lot more work to do this summer, so thanks to the legislative committee.
If you would agree, Your Honor, could we just send a letter on official stationery thanking them for their work during this time
Absolutely. I think
to
that's
each of them? Would that be all right?
the butt into Bill.
Yeah. Is that all right with the other council members? Thank you.
Yeah.
And I would maybe even extend it to some of the chairs of the committees that we've worked with and
Sure.
stuff. So we'll send out some letters, thank you to those that we've worked with.
Well, when they actually finish.
It's like,
Took us 17 minutes.
it's like my father-in-law used to say, in a rodeo, and the guy got, he's on the horse, and he'd say, give him a hand, that's about all they're gonna get out of it. They're not gonna get a pay raise from it, but it's good to get thanks, right?
All right. Anything else come for us? We're adjourned. See you guys.